Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful individual you. Today, I would like to speak about we are reflecting thoughts, feelings, and will impulses within our being and are not generated within our being. It is reflected. So, when you take in a thought or think a thought within your being, you and your body, physicality, is reflecting spiritually what is occurring in the spiritual world. There are thoughts and any kind of, well, living beings around us constantly. And it is, do we choose to let it reflect within our own being, or are we careful with what we do reflect? Because as mentioned in earlier videos, thoughts and feelings are food for our spiritual being, just like physical nourishment is nourishment for our body. So being able to, well, allow certain thoughts to come into our being and other thoughts to not have that much connection and availability to our body, because they do, specific thoughts affects us in specific ways and allows us to feel certain ways or forces us to feel certain ways based on what kind of types of thoughts you are thinking, and you can, well, be objective about that yourself. Every thought, every physical object out there, every human being, every animal, plant, make you feel something when you observe it and sit with that object, person, or being of interest. So when you are using your consciousness, allowing your awareness to strafe certain object, you can sit with it, feel what that object objectively feels like and what it is in a sense. Of course, when one needs to have the right proper concepts and, well, spiritual practices to even know what we are to look for. And that is why we truly are studying for ourselves with our own being and not just taking others' words for it, because we do have, just as anyone else would go out exploring things, we can do the same. And being critical and at the same time open to, well, whatever the cosmos might want to show us. Because the divine hierarchy are constantly giving us impulses and inspirations and different ideas and insight based on what, well, you are meant to do from moment to moment, from day to day, and so on. We do have our own individual strengths after all. Some people are good in certain areas, others are good in other areas, and that is where we cover each other. There are such variations on this planet, and one of my favorite mottos is, one-sidedness is the true enemy of real spiritual insights. And that is truth, because you cannot have one monadic view that you can force everyone to be under, so everything is easier. That is not what life is about. Life is about being able to maneuver flexibly within any groups or individual human being and still hold your values and be yourself no matter what. And it is about holding to the good, the true, and the beautiful. When you do, you have your butt covered, really. And it's all about holding on to that. Better safe than sorry, as we say. Saving our soul and spirit, unfolding, deepening it, to truly be able to take in the right proper nourishment for our soul and spirit. So, your intention and focus, what you put life force into, where you are cultivating that plant, is where the plant grows. There are many kinds of plants in that flower bed, you know. You have the beautiful, colorful, expressional ones. the ones that wants to just be and live its living reality in comfort. And a flower is complete within itself, in a sense. A flower doesn't do specific spiritual leaps and bounds as we do, because they are not static, because they do ebb and flow and are very much in tune with the seasons, in contradistinction to us, which are active in every season. We are different in every season, of course, but we are still different than plants and animals and minerals in the seasons, because we are awake in every one of them, if we of course allow ourselves to be. So finding out what is human being, the spirit, the individual, the creative core within you that allow you to be a thinking, feeling, willful being in freedom. That means your inner interests you can have control over. There are many, many things we cannot control. There are many things we cannot force to change. But you and me, we can cultivate and develop so that we can make a change as examples. If we had taken every human being here and put them in a utopia, that utopia will degrade to what we have now. It is because we as individual human beings have not developed far enough yet, or else it would have reflected within our own living conditions and being. And it is fully possible, because we have been given that opportunity to grow as spiritually free, loving, caring beings, or the opposite. It is all about the values and morality in it. So, the reflection of your thoughts is important. So, it is about being curious and at the same time careful that you do not dabble into things that you know you should not go into, that you know you should let that be. And to shift your intention just a little bit. And through meditation and breath work and pure thinking, using your thinking faculties for something that is constructive, healing, and nurturing, loving, is when you are growing as a human soul spirit. So it is about being active within it. And also have the unbound interest and longing to know the wise guidance behind everything. So that you can have that surety that even though people want to, fight you or your views, at least you live by your inner truths. You have fought for them, and hence you live by them. When you do, you at least speak about what you do, and you do what you speak. And that is the most important one. We would not want to be called a hypocrite, obviously. So it is about holding to that practice. And to not be too dogmatic, as I say. Being dogmatic, being completely and utterly locked within a certain narrow stream, instead of actually taking in and observing and getting to understand every single one of them from the standpoint they are from. If we do take one viewpoint and put it in another one, you become confused. That means if you study the material in the reflection of our thoughts and emotions, you will not come very far, because we do not secrete our thoughts like they were bile. It is not how it works. You see, when we choose to reflect a thought within our being, certain processes and phenomena occurs within our body that allows us to mirror that thought. But it's not like we think because that all of a sudden our brain secretes. It is not that it just occurs. We choose to let it happen and use our instrument for it. You see where I'm coming from? You have built your body to observe the world around you. The eyes are made by the light for the light. Your body is made by the spirit for the spirit. And that is where I will leave you with today. Thank you so much. May you be protected, guided, blessed and loved by Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, higher hierarchy, ancient masters of old, ancestors from every incarnation, seraphim, cherubim, thrones, kyriadetes, dynamis, exousiae, archai, archangels and angels. May you be protected. And may you be curious and loving and nurturing and warm. And see you again. Thank you. Love you. Goodbye.